You might be asking yourself about your loved one. Why? Is he always attracted to other people? Why does he keep slipping away? Why is he always drawn to other people? It can be in a relationship, it can be familial, it can be friendly. Why does he keep slipping away? As soon as he's here, he's gone again. He comes back and then he's gone again. And you might then realize, yes, wait a minute. Now he's here with someone else. He's in contact with another woman or man. We are in the collective. Or you say, yeah, great. And now he's just with family again, right? Runs here and there every day and is completely caught up in this pool again. Or could it also be that it's the circle of friends, where he had some distance and then with you, beautiful times, contacts, phone calls, meetings, however it may be. And then suddenly, whoosh, just friends or just family. Or suddenly you realize, wait a minute. Has he now entered into a relationship with someone else? And you ask yourself the question, why? What's going on? Why does he keep being drawn to other people? You dear ones, we are in a collective. Person cards are gender neutral. This is your counterpart, both male and female. And a collective reading cannot apply to everyone. A wonderful, heartfelt hello to all of you and a very tight hug. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your wonderfully kind comments as every day. I truly appreciate them and they mean a lot to me. You mean the world to me. Thank you for being you. And you are always very welcome to write questions for a collective reading in the comments. And I would like to address a topic as a question. For example, when it comes to a question from a loved one, why does he lie? In this case, the cards always want to have a clear question. Only with a clear question. Well, in the collective, I always have to do things a little bit differently than in personal readings. But a clear question. Why does he lie, so that you can say, okay, in the area of lying, why does he lie about not telling you that he loves you, or that he doesn't love you, or when it comes to feelings, or why does he lie about his activities? Why does he perhaps lie professionally, Or, yes, that he, for example, doesn't want a relationship at all or wants a relationship, things like that. Because when I ask the question, why does he lie? It can also be that we are dealing with something superficial here. But most of the time, it is superficial. Yes, there's a risk of getting a superficial answer. That we then get the answer. He lies, for example. You ask him, yes, how do you eat? He says, totally healthy and super great and back and forth. And then we have the answer here. No, that's not true. He's a fast food junkie, something like that, So therefore, we need clear questions. And with clear questions, we always get a clear answer. Right. So now let's take a look at the question of why your loved one is repeatedly drawn away from you to other people. Let's see. What is being shown there? Yes. We have the underside of the deck. I was at the swords. The underside of the deck shows the Queen of Swords. With your loved one, we have a decisive issue, which is influence. So this coldness is, and he is impressionable, right? Topics, as mentioned here with other people, there is influence. How the influence manifests, we will definitely see. We are getting to the bottom of it all. And then it's also like, he might try to show this independence to you. Not to commit completely, right? But it has a major reason why he doesn't want to commit is related to this. We will also find out this why. But it always has to do with influence, and he just leaves it in this independence. But it is already like, that he tries a little bit, maybe to get into this area, to find solutions, right? But maybe it becomes too much for him and poof, he's gone again, right? So let's see what more we can find out here. Let's first take a look there. How beautiful. Oh, we have the major arcana here in double form. So on one hand, we have the star. I find this absolutely fantastic here because with your loved one, it shows in terms of movement that there can be a new upswing here. But basically, I have him caught in a delusion here. In this confusion, despair. But the new upswing is also shown, as is the belief, this solution-oriented approach. We still have the belief with it. There is something here, because you might also feel with your loved one. There is some attraction, there is something there. You might not be able to, well, he can't quite place it. He feels there is something, but doesn't know what it is. And there's still a little something flitting around inside him that he can't identify, something that might also feel foreign to him. But a major theme is also that it becomes positive here. As shown, we have here this movement included as well. So something is happening here with the star. And the star is also, it's also the greatest luck card included. So there's something here. Somehow he still has a bit of hope, but then it might keep turning over again. I'm curious to see what's here exactly, to find out more here. So then we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant means trust. He lacks trust in himself. Absolutely. And fundamentally, even if he might be shooting around out there like a little rebel or something like that, and then maybe shows you, do I have a person dear to my heart fundamentally? Lying here alone. That this loneliness, and with that one, so that's what keeps pulling him back. Something, I'll say it now. Maybe it's something old that he knows, like a tradition. Something along those lines. Tradition is a completely inappropriate word, but something like that, something always holds him there in this area that he knows. And we always have that lying in repetition. Despite everything, something is here too that is showing itself in this upheaval, in this change. Something is in motion here. So I don't have a standstill here. Something is definitely going on within him or her in a positive way. Something, let's take a look. Well, for one, she shows it quite clearly right away. The inner restlessness, this confusion, this despair, uncertainty is shown again doubly. So we have big themes here. But now it's getting really exciting. What's being shown here? So now I would still like to have up there, I don't have complete clarity yet. Now we have it. So, well, with your loved one, there is a very strong, quite dominant insecurity, repeatedly this blockage, which also concerns love. A big theme for your loved one is love. And that is also what is repeatedly shown in secret. Because I keep seeing this disappointment with them. We also have a protection here. Yes, he keeps slipping back into the past. Past issues. And here it definitely concerns people in the family area or relationships. He keeps slipping back into old behavior patterns. And that is the big issue with the loved one. His own insecurity, this inner restlessness, this torn feeling as well, keeps bringing him back, and it has to do with you. Not in a negative way, no, heaven forbid. It is in a positive way. There is something there that he cannot resolve for himself. He becomes insecure and keeps slipping away here. With the loved one, I can see very clearly his insecurity, and this confusion are very evident. Outwardly, he definitely shows something different, and you have surely already sensed this with him or her. He is deceiving himself, and ultimately this is a great burden for him. Because with a loved one in the past, if we go back further, it can go back to childhood. Such a theme is definitely present with them, being pushed away, being shoved aside, not being seen, always having to fight for everything and repeatedly encountering this area. Feelings of guilt, a bad conscience, feelings of guilt. And in this case, the family area is shown where he always feels like he has to make amends. He always has to make amends. He has to be there. People can deal with him there in the way he knows as they want. Because he himself has not fully arrived at himself. He does not see himself as he is. He might show you, but that's just a facade, definitely. In this case, he's a really good actor. Pure entertainment. Because your loved one is like, I am completely torn inside. Because deep down he really wants to live love, but he has never truly lived it. He has always been in such a bubble, in such a sphere. And this is his past bubble that he has here. He keeps slipping back into this area, as I said, always trying to make things right again, because he wasn't seen. And it was always like this, here I am, just look at me. And there I always felt coldness from other people. It doesn't mean that everyone treated him terribly and badly, but just this dominance that is constantly shown to him. You might think, wait a minute. No, towards me he's like this in that direction. Yes, but that's his insecurity. That's exactly what he's hiding. He completely hides it. Like a camouflage, a mask that he has. He hides what he truly is inside because he's afraid to allow it all. He's afraid to fully allow feelings. And there he becomes insecure. Contact with you. Connection with you. You show warmth, security. You might have already told him or her that you have more feelings, that you love him, or that more feelings have developed, that you can imagine more with him. And there I have the person dear to my heart completely, in a panic. Oh God, what do I do now? Because he feels it too. And that's how it is. Then the protection starts again here. This protective wall begins to build up because he's afraid of doing something wrong. He becomes insecure. He becomes insecure. Because this warmth, this openness from you, this embracing, like completely this sunshine here, is so enveloping. And he can't handle that. And that's it. But he won't tell you that now, absolutely not. He feels happiness, but he doesn't recognize it. So, and what he doesn't know means distance for him. No, it can't be. Then he becomes insecure. As I said, he feels that with you. There's something there because he can't let go of you either. I have such a strong connection to you here. And again, this attraction, there is something that really does him good. But that doesn't match what he has always experienced until now. In the biggest form, and he's afraid of it. He is really afraid of it because he doesn't believe it. He lacks faith, confidence, because he is always doubting, because he always has the feeling, okay, something doesn't fit and then I get pushed away again. And it might also be that he often ends the contact with you, retreats, or increasingly retreats. Maybe even ended a relationship. Because he also has an issue, among other things, concerning fear of loss. And that's his issue. And that's why it's related to childhood. As I mentioned earlier, that he was perhaps never seen, was overlooked. And he always had to do everything right. Couldn't make any mistakes. Always performance-oriented. Never fully felt. Warmth or love. That it's not always about the external or material things. And even if it's another person and you show him, as I said, something completely different here. And if he enters a relationship with someone else where you think, wait a minute, there's no love there at all. No, there's no love for her. For you, yes, there is warmth, but this person reflects back to him what he knows, this dominance, this he has to prove something. He has to prove something to himself, right? It's always like a challenge for him. But here, he will keep getting hit one blow after another. But really, he will keep getting it until he completely wakes up and goes into this change, completely replacing the old here. He already notices that something doesn't fit. He notices it too. But one also very, very gladly looks away and pushes it aside. He doesn't trust himself when it comes to love. That's his issue. This distrust in himself. As I said, here I have like a continuous loop where he keeps getting hit over and over again. To put it bluntly, or casually. And repeatedly, the issue of public exposure, the out there, always this showing, proving, not making mistakes. And there, as I said, this person. And if you perhaps have noticed this person or something about them, right? I'm quite sure that you now say, yes, that's true. They are the complete opposite of me. They are a cold-hearted block. They are like an ice block, like an Antarctic, dominant and always in the public eye, showing themselves, proving themselves, however. Right? That's how I perceive this person. This arrogance and this haughtiness can sell themselves incredibly well. So, it wouldn't surprise me if this person really works in sales, you know? They would make the best sales. So it's their thing and that's their thing. That's what they know. And as I said, with you, they have experienced something completely different. He senses that there's something there. That's why he can't get away from you, can't let go of you. And this ending with you, whether it's the contact or the relationship, you know, no matter what kind of break there was, he also feels it was wrong. It was completely wrong. It's not good for him. It hurts him in his heart. But he is simply too insecure, too restless, to make a complete, yes, rigorous cut in this area. Not yet, because I already have the detachment from the old lying there, because he realizes something is going terribly wrong here, because he met you, no matter how long ago it was, no matter how long. He realizes that something so wonderful for you, this feeling. He doesn't know it, but it does him good, this feeling. And that's why he keeps coming back, and he will return to this area again, because he hasn't finished with you yet. That is for sure. So now let's take a look at what else is revealed here. So now we have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is also such an area. Yes. He is already he is having a pretty hard time as well. So these inhibitions that he still has, which have just been shown here, and inhibitions are being shown. He keeps going back into the into this maybe escape. This confusion is shown again here. But as I said, difficult phase, okay. Because he is also putting his own happiness with you on hold. He did that here as well. This is about showing oneself, proving oneself to others. And there, he's also putting his own desires on hold because he is constantly being pushed down a bit. But what I find really great again now is that this confusion, this feeling of being constrained comes up, right? Because I have him here as if in a radius he can't get out. You are in this one radius, in this bubble. And that's what he knows. And the other thing is like, oh, right, what is there? It's too good to be true, if I may put it in my own words. But what I find really great now is that your loved one is making this breakthrough. You know, as I told you here, the detachment from the old. We have this breakthrough again because he is on the path that is shown again for a new perspective so that he gains a completely different strength. And this difficult phase in which he is still stuck will definitely be replaced, dissolved, that is, ended, the detachment from the old. So now we have the Three of Wands. Three-Course of Wands. Again, fantastic. We have the transition into the new, and that he also enters this openness for himself, which also concerns you. And he frees himself from this prisoner, as I said, this bubble, again and again, So there, detachment from the old. We have it here once more. That this breakthrough also comes, that he indeed gains more self-confidence, this assurance, and as if on an exploration tour. And the exploration tour, that's you, because you have definitely touched his heart and are still very much in it. And it's like this. With you, he also sees that there is indeed a foundation, but a healthy foundation, a happy foundation for a relationship. And as far as the relationship is concerned, good prospects are also shown. This leads to security, and he no longer holds back. So we have this movement in there. But the main question was why he is always so drawn to others and keeps falling back. Dear ones, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye.